What's up, guys? Kris Gethin here, and this is the Knowledge and Mileage podcast. I may sound a little bit different this week. The reason being is because I'm traveling overseas. I've been in Europe for a couple of weeks. I was here for an expo for bodybuilding.com and Body Shocker, and I've also been in Ireland meeting with one of our manufacturers, custom manufacturers, Anabio, and now I am in my parents' conservatory. It's a beautiful day outside. I'd love to be out there to record this through my iPhone, but I can hear noise coming from next door. I think they're power washing or something, so I didn't want to get drowned out by that noise there. But anyway, guys, today I'm going to talk to you about how to slow down the aging process with the power of your mind. Of course, there's so many hacks out there when it comes to anti-aging, such as increasing your antioxidant consumption, hence why I drink Hydrocharge all day, to making sure that you don't spend too much time in the sun, to ensure that you're exercising, to ensure that you're hydrating and stuff like that. However, there's a lot of mental hacks that we can do to slow down the aging process. So I'm going to go through some of those things right now. Now, I am a fan of the law of attraction. It allows you to focus on being more present because we live in an age with instant gratification. We're always distracted. We're always, looking for the next gadget. We're always distracted when we should be listening to somebody, all that sort of bullshit. So one thing that I always like to do is try to put the phone down, even though I'm talking into it right now. And I know our businesses rely upon them. However, bookend it. About 2 hours before you go to bed, switch that bloody phone off or put it on airplane mode. Get rid of that EMF, but be a little bit more present. Same in the morning when you wake up. You shouldn't wake up to the distraction. And when you should be talking to your girlfriend, instead you're posting online, you're responding to emails, which I'm a victim of as well, when we should be a little bit more present. When you're eating your food, slow it down. Think about the texture of that food. Whoever you are with, listen to them, but be present of, your mindfulness of what you're eating, slowing down the eating process, calming your brain. Because if you eat if you eat fast, out of anxiety, your cortisol levels go up. You're not able to digest the food properly. Your heart rate is gone up and your systemic cortisol levels will be up, and that's not very good for aging. It'll accelerate the aging. And as I mentioned, listen to others. A lot of people wait to talk when they're in the middle of conversation instead of listening. Listen a little bit more and take some time to yourself. Be alone. Quite often I will go to the cinema by myself. I am traveling over here at the moment by myself. Very often I work out by myself. I go running by myself. And I'll switch off the music. A lot of the time I will not listen to music when I'm working out now or when I'm running. I will use that as my time to be present, to clear my mind. Like if I've got something that's troubling me or I cannot make a decision or I've got writer's block or whatever it is, chances are I'll come back from that run with a decision being made. I have an answer for a question that's been bothering me, or I come up with other ideas. That blood flow to the brain allows me to think more. Oxygen to the brain allows me to think more. However, if I'm distracted by music or a podcast or an audiobook, I'm not able to focus and think as relevant. And not only that, maybe I'm not thinking, I'm meditating. I'm using this as active meditation. I'm thinking about my heart rate variability. I'm trying to slow down my heart rate. I'm trying to increase the depth of my breath. I'm trying to feel a little bit more present and pull with my hamstrings while I run, not just land on my heel and my quad. I'm trying to pivot and think of a sphere in my stomach to ensure that it stays balanced. And I find this as being very meditative. I feel that I'm much more present. I feel rejuvenated when I do that, So take things a little bit slower and try to be present in a world that we are surrounded by EMF rays, our computers, our phones, our headphones, our Bluetooths. We do not have time to think, and our social interaction and our sociability is down. When I visited countries where maybe I've gone to an orphanage in Africa or India, and I see the social skills of these children. They are far superior because they're not distracted by all these electronics that we seem to be distracted by every single day. Facebook, Twitter, this bloody podcast, Don't give in to age. That is another a piece of advice that I would like to give based on what I am surrounded by. A lot of people, when they hit a certain age mark, that it seems to be the justification that they wear their hair a certain way, they dress a certain way, they drive a car that is more relevant to that age, because they're thinking sometimes, or the majority of the time, a lot older than what they actually are. Like, don't think of yourself as old, like, look at the way that I dress. Sometimes I have bloody blue hair and I'm getting on a little bit. But, look at my tattoos. I'm not even thinking about what they're going to look like when I'm in my 80s, 90s, as I turn into a centurion. Because I don't care, I am here for myself, not for anybody else. Selfishly, I will focus on myself so I can give more of myself. So I have to be selfish in order to be selfless. And if I want to have friggin' earrings in my nose and look like I get, pulled around a bull ring with it, then so be it. This is me. I would be selling myself short if I was to be anybody else. One of the greatest pieces of feedback that I get from people when I meet them at expos, events, seminars, whatever it may be, is like, wow, you're so down to earth. You are so real. I'm not qualified to be anybody else. I usually come back with, why should I act out a certain way? Of course, you kind of replicate to a certain degree the person that you're communicating with. However, you should never change yourself altogether. Nobody's a step above you and nobody's a step below you. We are all of equal value. And if somebody is going to frown upon you because your tattoos, the hair, the way that you dress, who you hang out with, then so be it. That is their prerogative. They are not living with your vibrations. You are. So let's elevate your vibration. So, and don't think of yourself as old, because, geez, this is the biggest thing that I see when people hit a certain age mark, whether they're in their 60s, 70s or further, they say, oh, I'm too old. I can't do that. It's a battle. It's a struggle. It's uphill. Jeez, will you stop it already? You are accelerating your age by thinking like that. I've seen people in their 80s or 90s or further actually break world records in swimming. I've seen people in their 90s rollerblading, and people in their 80s that I know personally that are rock climbing. There's no reason why you cannot go out, and don't think that these people have been doing it since the age of 20, because that's another excuse that I hear from people as they get it into their elder years. They say, oh yeah, but they've been doing it since then. And they come up with all sorts of excuses to for justification of their own complacency. You're not going to live a life ever with that thought process. You are what you think. You achieve what you believe. So believe something different. We are role-playing a movie at the moment, and you are the writer, director, producer, actor. So act it out the way that you want this movie to pan out and to end. Okay? Stop using these barriers. I hate hearing these barriers. I'm not going to give away any names here, but only a couple of weeks ago, somebody that I know dear to me went out and they were going to go for a walk, and they're like, oh, but it's so hot outside. Oh, but it's so steep up that hill. I'm like, dude, you are going out for a walk. It's nothing. It's easy. You are able-bodied. You have 4 limbs. So what if it's hot outside? You're only going out for 30 minutes. Hydrate, drink. It's, it wasn't even like 115. And the hills weren't that steep. However, the mental barriers that were put into that person's brain had shut off all possibilities and instead just spat out impossibility, 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 impossibility. This person will never ever live the life that they want to act out physically with that mental block. So that's why I try to do these podcasts, talk to this person one-on-one, do my books, my videos and my columns or whatever, to tell people to change the way that you think. Turn that weakness into a weapon today. Turn that impossibility into a possibility today. You can, and only you can. I can encourage it. I can inspire it, but you have to make the application to change. I have no plans in slowing down personally. I want to create more challenges. I want to enjoy the challenge that I can put myself through. I want to continue to increase my bone density, the flexibility, the blood flow into my connective tissue, and of course the blood flow into my brain. I want to live this life. I have a vessel that I'm going to take care of, but this brain is going to charge it. It's going to wire it. It's going to allow my body to follow and apply, okay? Raise your vibration. As I mentioned before, I'm into the law of attraction, and we are all made of vibration. Our thoughts are of vibration. So if you are constantly thinking, oh, woe me, it's bad weather outside, oh, I'm so tired, oh, I can't be bothered, oh, the kids are getting me down, I hate my job, oh, woe me, pity me, give me sympathy, you know what? You've got a shitty vibration, and that vibration is going to feed back to you just like an amp and give you a shitty life. You reap what you sow. If you give that vibration out, guess what? You'll attract that vibration back. If you are moaning about yourself or individuals, chances are you're going to be surrounded by people who are moaning as well, who are talking about the neighbor on the end of the street, and coming up and just festering and fermenting negativity until that mound grows into a mountain, and then it becomes you. It doesn't just become a part of you, it becomes you wholeheartedly. So raise your vibration. You have the choice to be a little bit happier. Now, I feel like I'm contradicting myself to a certain degree, because I'm not the happiest person out there. I've struggled mentally, and if I wasn't to work at myself every single day, I'd be struggling a lot more. You know, as I've mentioned before, life would be a fucking white knuckle ride for me if I didn't work at myself every day. Why do you think I train 7 days a week? Why do you think I do cardio twice a day? Why do you think I'm always wanting to hack my health? Because it satisfies me. I go running, it's active meditation because it satisfies me. It keeps me level. 50% happiness is much better than 10% happiness, which I could possibly be if I didn't work at it every single day. So I'm trying to raise my vibration. I'm trying to smile at people more, even if it's voluntary and not involuntary. I try to greet people. I try to wake up on the right side of the bed. I try to go to bed with happier thoughts. If somebody gives me a reason to react, I try to think about it, even if it takes a few days, and I'll try to redigest it, recycle it, and translate it into a different way that will provide some form of coping mechanism, which will turn into 50% happiness. So raise your vibrational method. You have the choice to do that, and you'll be surprised how you can vibrate positive opportunity within, okay? Don't go down the path of resistance. We are always resisting things. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't venture into this. I should stay at home. I should stay within my comfort zone. Get out there, push it, enjoy it. Life's an adventure. And our eyes here, if you're looking on YouTube, you can see my gestures. Your eyes here, you allow to take in and play out a movie reel that you can relive. Anytime, anytime, anytime. Wouldn't you want to fill this with awesome, fantastic, adventurous, positive memories? Instead, get into the end of your life with negativity, complaints, weakness, boredom, justification for complacency, saying I couldn't do that, I wasn't able to do that. Get out there and fucking do it, man. Push yourself. Even if you've trained and you think, man, I'm a little bit overtrained today, but I'm going to feel like shit if I don't train again, then get out there and train, buddy. Work your brain first. Of course, you don't want to injure yourself, but you know, working out is of therapeutic value. Now, when it comes to that, you know, not only am I talking about years here, 80, 90, 100, I'm talking about the quality of the years. We know that we will get old. There's no doubt about it. However, we can vastly improve the quality of our life. Think of this. For the last 15 years of your life, Do you want to be cared for in an old people's home? Someone having to put on your socks, someone having to clean and bathe you because you weren't active or looked after your health or your mental agility as you were younger. Instead, you gave into complacency, weakness, you gave up on life and you just ate shit and pitied myself. And then you are taken care of for the last 15 years of your life, looking out the window, wishing, hoping, probably full of regret. Or would you prefer to be that person outside of the window, hiking, mountain biking, enjoying the outdoors, the summer breeze, the sunshine, the birds, seeing the butterflies? Okay, I'm getting a little bit out there now, but you know what I mean. That's 15 years that you need to invest in right fucking now. Not later, because it's too late. You'll be stuck in that seat getting your ass wiped. Or you can be outside kicking ass. Your feet are so sore when you wake up because you've kicked ass again and again and again. And you know what? You're 98, you're 102, you're 110. People have lived to 120. We know it's reachable, but we want that quality of life. Or we could end it maybe at 80 and we're in the grave, or from 80 to 95, we're just living a shit life because we didn't invest in it right now. So don't just face reality all the time. I'm facing reality. This is how I am. This is how it is. Fucking create it. Create your reality now. You can manifest it. You believe it. You achieve it by the steps that you take today. Whatever you do today will dictate the path of your life tomorrow. And whatever you do tomorrow will dictate the path of your life the next day. So get out there, enjoy yourself. Like, I'm not saying that this is the perfect scenario, but I got in from Ireland last night. After I drove back home here to my parents' house, I got in about 2:30 in the morning. Now, my sister had signed us up to do a park run, which was a bit of a drive for me to go away again. However, I could have stayed in. I could have got my sleep. I could have said, yeah, maybe next time, take a rain check. Maybe we'll go for a run in the afternoon. But no, I had 3 hours sleep. I got my ass up, got my food ready, got my hydrocharge ready. I was out the friggin' door and I made it to that park run. And you know what? I had a fantastic time. I took some pictures, not only with my phone, but in my brain. And now I've got that beautiful memory that I can store inside my head, which is very precious for me, that I can take for the rest of my life. And whilst I'm hiking on that hill at the age of 96, I can think back to that instead of saying, you know what, I'll sleep in. Nobody accomplished shit by sleeping in. Of course, sleep is very important to us, but if the opportunities arise, don't be that lazy bastard. I hate lazy bastards that just sleep in all the time. Oh, I'm making it up from the week. Yeah, okay, let's see where it gets you, buddy. Anyway, guys, I'm going to send this off now, and hopefully you'll get to hear it next week before I get back to the US. This is the Knowledge and Mileage podcast. If you do like it, please do leave me a review. Thank you very much, guys. Kris Gethin here. I am out.